What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Mike C Media. Today I wanted to come on here and talk about Super Bowl 60, man. This football season went by us so quick. I just felt like yesterday I was getting so excited for the Eagles versus the Cowboys to start the season. You guys know I'm a big Philly sports fan. Excited to see how the season was going to go, and it's already over. Like that, August to February, I tell everybody, it's the quickest months of the year, right? We got the introduction, the fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, the holidays, football. It kind of just really goes hand in hand. It's my favorite time of the year, and I just can't believe how fast it went. Super Bowl 60, I wanted to come on here and talk about it. I apologize for the lack of long-form content. I went to Monday Night Raw last week, which if you guys missed that video, I'm going to put it in the description. I had a lot of fun. But when I went there, I caught something. I don't know if you could hear it in my voice or not. I caught some kind of stomach bug. My chest was really inflamed. Mucus is everywhere. So you guys can imagine I've been coughing up a freaking lung all week. It's pretty much bedridden for almost 2 or 3 days. But I wanted to come on here, nice fresh Monday morning, and get a video out for you guys. Talking about Super Bowl 60, it was definitely a Super Bowl that people are talking about in a much rather negative way, unfortunately. It wasn't the most entertaining football game we've ever watched. In fact, I said it a couple weeks ago. When the Rams and Seahawks played, I told everybody that was the Super Bowl. That game was incredible. If you missed that game, go back and watch it. But that was the Super Bowl, and I knew it was going to be like that. When you have two top 5 defensive teams going into the Super Bowl and playing each other, as a football fan, I always like the high-octane, high-scoring games. And I think majority of America that are much rather the casual fans, you know, they're only really going to watch the Super Bowl for the commercials, the halftime shows. When they want to watch a football game, more than likely they're not going to want to watch a defensive game. And that's what we got last night. And unfortunately, a lot of people were calling it boring. And I completely understand it, right? When you go into the half and it's 9-0, and you seen Drake May get sacked 4 times, the Patriots aren't doing anything. Seattle wasn't doing anything either. They didn't look that great either. It posed for a excuse me. It posed for a very not entertaining game, and really the entire game was Seattle's game. Seattle got to Drake May so much. They exposed him so much. He's such a young quarterback. People forget that. Drake May is a very young quarterback. You know, that offensive line obviously could not hold the pressure by DeMarcus Lawrence and the Seahawks defensive line. And with all the offensive struggles that was going on with New England, their defense still kept them in the game for majority of it. I think the New England had 0 points and it was still 12-0. In the third quarter, they had plenty of time to come back, and the points that they did score were just garbage time. So I give props to the Patriots defense. They held them in there as long as they could. 3 quarters, they held them in there. Unfortunately, the Patriots offense just couldn't do anything. If you guys go back a couple weeks ago and watch my video about the predictions, Seahawks versus the Patriots, I talked about how the Patriots basically had a cakewalk going into the Super Bowl, right? They played a banged-up Justin Herbert that was not 100%. They played a C.J. Stroud that threw 5 interceptions. The defense won them that game. Then they played a backup quarterback in the AFC Championship. The Seattle Seahawks were the first real team they played in the playoffs, and they exposed them. But the Seahawks were the first real team that they had to play. And boy, did Seattle come to play. And I'm going to talk about them in a second. Clear-cut evident it was the Patriots offense that could not get anything going. Their defense, it's astonishing that the defense still held the Seahawks under 30 points. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. They went into this with a much better game plan, and they executed it much better than the New England Patriots tonight. Or yesterday night, I should say. They went after that run game quick. Kenneth Walker, 130 yards and a touchdown. Their kicker, I mean, has there ever been a discussion about a Super Bowl MVP being a kicker? Had 17 points. Scored half their points. 5 made field goals, 2 extra points. I honestly wish I had more to say, but I knew this since Seattle beat the Rams. Beat arguably one of the best teams in the playoffs, the Los Angeles Rams. I kind of knew Seattle was going to win. I was very confident. I almost betted money, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, man, like I said, I wish I had more to say. I just very confidently knew. I mean, if you look at the teams, you just kind of knew Seattle had the edge. They were also on the West Coast, and when they were scoring, it was loud in there. It was definitely a pro-Seattle crowd. But where does this leave us now? We got the draft in a couple months, so that's always an exciting time. You know, where does that leave me in the channel? I'm going to keep posting sports stuff, my normal stuff here. Nothing's going to change, really. I just wanted to come on here real quick. Plus, I noticed, like, if I'm late on a video, it doesn't really get into YouTube's algorithm that well. So if you guys like the video, please give it a like. Please comment. What do you guys think? I appreciate you guys staying this long here and me ramble. I apologize for my voice. I know I sound very scrawny. I sound like an idiot. I'm hoping it clears up. I'm taking medicine. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. See you guys later.